and good morning. What's going on, folks? Blitzball champ here. Hope everybody's hope everybody had a blessed Thanksgiving. Um, it is Sunday. It is around 10:38 in the morning. But yeah, Sunday, November 26th of 2023. I am here in the parking lot at the Benton Convention Center. I got here early, so I got a couple of hours before the next round of meet and greets for WrestleCade. This is the third and final day of WrestleCade in Winston-Salem, North Carolina. Um, I wanted to get on here for a bit because I saw the trailer and whatnot of the recently announced. So Virtua Fighter 3TB online is getting, I guess, ported to arcades, Japan only. And I guess it's supposed to have like a revamped soundtrack or whatnot. But honestly, I can't say that I'm surprised because, Sega has kind of dropped the ball with VF. And honestly, I know a lot of the VF community have high hopes for a VF6, but to be honest, we might as well just go ahead and just drop that. We might as well just go ahead and let that go. I know I have. I've completely lost hope in a VF6 ever happening. I mean, it's already been long enough to this point, especially when you have other fighting games getting releases pretty consistently. And I mean, when you think about it, VF5 has four iterations. You have some of the Yakuza games that have VF5 playable, and you know, and now they're doing this, which is one of the worst VF games. It's definitely one of the worst. Um, but yeah, I just really, it's disappointing. It's really, really disappointing. Uh, hey, Joe Valesco. I did hear about that, but I won't be able to watch it until pretty late tonight because, like I said, I'm at WrestleCade, so I haven't gotten a chance to see Survivor Series. But I do plan on watching it when I get home tonight. Um, but yeah, just honestly, I just really don't see there being much hope, if any, of a VF6. I mean, here it is, 2023, about to be 2024. We've had four iterations of VF5, and now we're getting this. This is their newest announcement, this VF3 3TB online. Joel says you're not gonna see. Nah, because like I said, I'm at WrestleCade. So I have the game set to DVR, so I might catch that as well. Probably I might catch it on the way back. I might listen to it on the way back. But nah, I'm gonna be up here for a good while, Joe Valesco. So I'm gonna miss it. But I hope we win. I hope we win. Uh, because it is a winnable game. But honestly, and shout out to Most Windu. I don't know if he's watching this, but shout out to Most Windu. I love you, bro, but I don't want to hear another word from you toward me about keep the faith, keep the hope up, Keep the hope up. No. I done told you. I done told you. I tried to tell you. I tried to tell you. Ain't no VF6 coming. It ain't happening. Ricardo, good morning. Have fun at WrestleCade. Appreciate it. I've been having a blast so far. Been having a big old blast. This is day 3, the final day. So I'm looking forward to wrapping things up on a good note. So thanks for asking. Thanks for the shout out. But yeah, and like I said, I know I haven't played 5 Ultimate Showdown in a while. I've actually been playing a lot more VF4 Evo because VF4 Evo is my favorite Virtua Fighter game, even to this day. VF4 Evo over 5 any day. So, I still have, my PS2 still playing that game. So that definitely, that's my VF. That will probably always be my VF. But honestly, my whole thing is just, I think we got to let go of the hopes for a VF6. Because, with what Sega's been doing up to this point, heck, even VF5 Ultimate Showdown, they haven't done any more costume packs. They haven't, maintained any of the original costume packs that were in VF5 Final Showdown. So it's like, honestly, I don't think they care that much. If anything, I feel like this announcement was just, here's a little bit more of a dose of VF, just different game, but not a new game at all. So it's ridiculous. I just felt like the VF community just was given a big giant L with this. And honestly, we wonder why fans of other fighting games like Street Fighter and Tekken always make fun of VF and the community. It's because of things like this. I'm just saying. Shoot, we'll probably be at Tekken 10 by the time any thought of a new VF comes out. We'll probably be at Street Fighter 9 before any thought of a new VF happening. Shoot, Bloody Roar will probably make a comeback quicker than a new VF. So it's just so ridiculous. It's really, really ridiculous. Joe Velasquez says, I hope we win too, but we're going to lose. If we lose, Frank Reich has to get fired. It's definitely a winnable game. It's a winnable game. But honestly, something tells me he's probably, I don't know, he's probably not going to get fired. Maybe not until the end of the year, but I don't know. We'll see. We shall see. But I just really, it's really disappointing to see what, VF has become and just how Sega has really treated it. I feel like the whole VF esports hasn't really, yeah, sure, it's done the whole Beat Tribe Cups, and that's great, and, Evo Japan, and that's cool and all, but it's like, one, only Japan is getting this release, this 3TB online. And 2, it's arcade only. But like I said, I'm not really surprised because, and 3rd, this is like the worst game. Like, I've never been a fan of 3TB. Honestly, I think it's trash. I think it's trash. I mean, I have it on Dreamcast because I got it for dirt cheap. But yeah, like, I messed around in that game, and of course, played it once in a tournament at No Matter the Cost, hosted by Chief Flash. But yeah, that game is trash. Like, when it comes to all the VF games, that's the worst one. That is the worst one. But yeah, I just honestly, this is disappointing. It's disappointing, but I can't say that I'm surprised. I can't say that I'm surprised. Because like I said, I lost hope like long ago. I mean, Ultimate Showdown, was all right. I got it for free. But I mean, all it really is just Final Showdown with a fresh coat of paint when you really think about it. I hate to say it, but yeah, just this is really disappointing. Very, very disappointing. And I just really I've lost faith in Sega when it comes to VF. I mean, Sega has done, many other things, with, Phantasy Star Online and of course Sonic and, the Yakuza games. They've done some great in those, but honestly, I think we might as well just take VF off the list because I really don't see that thriving or really keeping up with the times of the other fighting games. I don't see it. I don't see it at all. It sucks. It sucks. But for me personally, as long as I still have VF4 Evo, I'll be happy. Play the mess out of that and the quest mode. I'll be happy. I'll be happy. I just think it's really unfortunate to see as time passes how this has been with VF. But yeah, y'all, it's disappointing. It's really disappointing. And somebody that's been a part of the community for so long, I think it's disappointing. I think it's disappointing. I really don't know anybody that's excited for this or excited about this announcement. But hey, good morning, Vietnam. So this is pretty much a port of Virtua Fighter 3 TB online, but it's gonna be arcade cabinet and in Japan only. In Japan only. So arcade cabinet in Japan only. So technically it's not really a new Virtua Fighter. I was a fan of the old school fighter. Oh yeah? Oh, okay. Yeah, they've definitely evolved over the years, for sure. Definitely evolved over the years. That's crazy. Yeah, I'm pretty disappointed though, Vietnam. As somebody that's been part of a community that's wanted a new VF for the longest time, it's kind of a L for the VF community, and they just haven't really been able to keep up with the times of and that's why fans of like Street Fighter and Tekken and I haven't played since VF4. VF4 is actually my favorite. VF4 Evo, that's actually my favorite. So Super Treybo, what's up? Good morning, Jason. Only 3 months till FF7 Rebirth. Gonna do another replay, Final Fantasy VII Remake in January to get ready. Getting a PS5 for Christmas. Oh, awesome, awesome. I might eventually go back and do a hard mode playthrough of Remake, because I streamed my whole playthrough just on normal difficulty, but a part of me does kind of want to go back through and try to see if I can beat it on hard mode. So I might do that. I might do that. But yes, I'm excited for Rebirth as well, and we'll be streaming my playthrough of Rebirth. So definitely excited. I've already paid off my reserve on that, so I'm good to go. But yeah, I just, as long as I have VF4 Evo still working and playing, then I'll be happy. But I mean, this is just Sega's tendencies with VF. I mean, like I said, we got 4 versions of VF5 alone. So that should tell you something. That should tell you something. Vietnam says, I got MK1 when it came out, and it was very good to me, graphics and playability wise. Oh yeah, I like MK1 as well. Definitely, I'm still trying to finish up the story mode. Haven't quite finished that yet. I think I'm on chapter 11, I think I'm on chapter 11 or 10, one of the two. So I just got to finish up the story mode. But still, I have to say my favorite still to this day is Mortal Kombat 9. That one's still my favorite to this day. But Elden Ring has been the best game that I've ever seen. Story, graphics, and overall gameplay. Yeah, and there's a reason why, it won Game of the Year awards. Yeah, my good friend, you probably remember him, Vietnam, Most Windu, one of my subscribers. He's a big fan of Elden Ring. He played the mess out of Elden Ring, so he can definitely relate. Yeah, he played the mess out of Elden Ring. I think he streamed his whole playthrough of that as well. But yeah, but like I said, I can't say too much. Because like I said, I haven't played 5 Ultimate Showdown. It's been a couple of months since I last played. Because like I said, I got so many games to play through. Like, I just recently got Persona 5 Tactica, Super Mario RPG, and Super Mario Brothers Wonder. I got so many games I got to play through. Like, I don't know if I'm ever going to get caught up. You know what I mean? Fandom says, yeah, I was late to the party. I just found it this summer. Hey, never too late. Hey, as long as the game is available, it's never too late, my friend. Never too late. Yeah, as long as it's still available, it's never too late. But yeah, I know for this coming, I still need to finish my playthrough of Final Fantasy 16. I need to really grind it out and finish up Final Fantasy 16. I don't even think I'm halfway through that game, to be honest with you. But yeah, VF3 TB online. So yeah, but it's probably a saving grace that it's arcade and only in Japan. So hey, I guess I don't have to worry about that. Vietnam says it was my first Dark Souls game. Oh, the Elden Ring. Gotcha. Pardon me. Vietnam says I haven't played a Final Fantasy since 7. There's some good ones. I like 8. 9's all right. I really like 10. 10's really good. If you want a nice spinoff, Tactics is really good. If you like strategy, I highly recommend Final Fantasy Tactics. Um, let's see. Um, 13, I know some folks didn't like. I was okay with it. It's very linear, but I like 13. And there's 13, 13.2, 13.3. 12 is good, but I haven't played through the new version of 12, just PlayStation uh the old PlayStation 3 version. Not PlayStation 3, PlayStation 2. What am I talking about? Um, but yeah, I I would recommend 8, 10, Tactics. Those are probably like the top 3 I would recommend. Those are like top 3 I'd recommend. And also the remake, Final Fantasy 7 remake. You know, it'll definitely remind you of the original one, but with some new stuff, with some different stuff. But but yeah, but yeah, like I said, I didn't have too much to say on this VF announcement with 3TB online. It's just like I said, I think it's a big L to VF and the community. Unfortunately, it's just But like I said, I'm not surprised considering I've given up hope on the idea of a brand new VF game. When you have so many iterations of the previous one, you have VF5 and a couple of different Yakuza, like some of the Yakuza games and stuff like that. Um, so yeah, I can't say that I'm surprised. Phenom says I have Tekken 8 on pre-order. As a longtime Tekken fan, I can't wait to see it on the Xbox Series X. Yeah, me and a good friend of mine are getting it together. Uh, we made a deal. I got us Street Fighter 6. He was gonna get us Tekken 8. So I upheld my part of the deal. So he's gonna uphold his part of the deal. So I felt like it's a fair trade. Yeah, we actually played some Street Fighter 6 last night, but I got annihilated because I hadn't played the game in a hot minute. So yeah, that, and I was so tired from today, from all the festivities, or not from today, but from the festivities yesterday. But but yeah, today, like I said, this is WrestleCade day 3, the final day. Um, and like I said, on the way back, I might listen to the game just via, because I have it DVR'd via Hulu, so I might just play it back and just listen to it on my drive home, and then I got to watch Survivor Series whenever I get home, so I got a lot to catch up on. Street Fighter is pretty good. It has great graphics and easy combos. I definitely like 6 a lot better than 5, a lot more than 5. And but I have to say one of my favorite, like a couple of my favorite Street Fighter games, Alpha 3, Street Fighter 4, and even though I'm not great at it, I do like Third Strike. I do like Third Strike. What's WrestleCade? Oh, WrestleCade, as in CADE. WrestleCade. Pretty much, WrestleCade is a big convention event that is packed full of different pro wrestlers that you can do meet and greets. They do different panels, and they also do a couple of wrestling shows as well. It's a 3-day event, and it's usually Thanksgiving weekend. So it usually starts Black Friday, like right after Thanksgiving. This year was my 4th WrestleCade, and they have a lot of different big names. I mean, even from old school, like the Four Horsemen. They've had Sting. They've had the Great Muta. They've even had some new faces, like the Lucha Bros. Even some of the ladies, like I met Janai Kai, the Kick Demon. I met. They had Mickey James. They have a whole bunch of different. Greg the Hammer Valentine, like a lot of new school and old school wrestlers. Like, I think they had over like 200 something wrestlers this year. And they've been doing a good job with the planning and the staff and everything like that. And I actually won a drawing where I originally bought a 3-day pass, but my name got selected in a drawing from one of the sponsors, and my pass got updated to upgraded to a VIP pass. So yeah, that was really cool and really random. But yeah, definitely if you're a pro wrestling fan, I would highly, highly recommend it. It's in Winston-Salem, North Carolina. Um, Once a year, Benton Convention Center, Thanksgiving weekend. So definitely, if you don't have any crazy Thanksgiving plans, or especially for Black Friday or the weekend of, I highly recommend it. Like I said, this is my fourth, so it's good stuff. It's good stuff. Vietnam says, I used to love wrestling during the Attitude Era. I haven't watched it much since Stone Cold and The Rock stopped performing. Yeah, that's understandable. I know there's a handful of folks that have kind of, fallen away from it. So it's understandable. Yeah, I've been with it since I was a kid. So it's one of my passions. It's definitely one of my passions. And my dream job is pro wrestling commentator. So we'll see how that goes. But I've been working on some demos and whatnot, and just trying to practice, and you know what I mean. So good thing where I'm parked is free parking. But yeah, Vietnam, are you gonna check out the game today, or no, or what you got? Because like I said, I got it via Hulu DVR. So once I'm done here, I'll probably just have it playing as I'm driving home. Because I got like about an hour and like 40-50 minute drive. So I'll probably have the replay of that going and just seeing how it went. Oh, you're gonna watch the first and second quarter? I gotcha. Yeah, we gonna see what happens today. That's for sure. Yeah, I don't. I mean, it's a winnable game. It's a winnable game, but they gotta execute. They gotta execute, and yeah, I just and I don't know if you since I got you on here, I don't know if you heard Steve Smith's last commentary on Frank Reich. I don't know if you got a chance to hear that. It wasn't too long ago, but he is in support of at least keeping Frank Reich for at least another year. He's in support of it. And he kind of laid down, some reasons, which, I mean, I kind of understand. But at the same time, when we think about Matt Rule versus Frank Reich, we're talking about somebody that was, coaching for the first time as a head coach in the NFL versus somebody that at least has some experience as a head coach in the NFL. So, if it's horrible, then I'll find something else to do. So is the Chicago game. So that tells me that there's no such thing as a winnable game with East Panthers. Yeah, that's a fair argument. That is a fair argument. That is a fair argument. let's just say on paper, this a winnable game on paper, I guess I'll say. But yeah, I heard that. I'm glad that Steve Smith agreed with me. It's really Scott's fault that team's in this position. So there was something else that came up that I'll mention to you. So something to think about, Vietnam. Let's use a couple of examples. Peyton Manning. Let's start with Peyton Manning. His rookie year, who was his coach? Jim Mora. Second year, who was his coach? Tony Dungy. You see what I'm getting at? Trevor Lawrence, another example. Rookie year, who was his coach? Urban Meyer. Second year and up to now, who is his coach? Doug Peterson. You see what I'm getting at? Sometimes a change of a coach could be a big effect. Because when you think about it, look who Frank Reich had in Indy. Andrew Luck, Phillip Rivers, Carson Wentz, Matt Ryan. I mean, they were already pretty big names, before getting there. You know what I mean? I mean, especially Phillip Rivers, which I think it's safe to say Phillip Rivers will probably be Hall of Fame, I would think. Carson Wentz, yeah, maybe. Andrew Luck, I mean, he was there when Andrew Luck had his comeback player of the year award. Pardon me. But it really poses the question, can Frank Reich really build up and evolve a fresh new quarterback? And I'm not so sure, bro. I'm not so sure. That also, on top of the fact, you got to remember, out of the 2 Super Bowls that he's won as a coach, one of those Super Bowls, he was offensive coordinator. One of those Super Bowls, he was offensive coordinator. And being that he is back to he's been calling the plays, 90% of the season. And even, I guess, before that as well, when he was with Indy, I guess. It really makes us wonder, what changed? What made it more difficult this time around? Because you would think the offensive coordinator is supposed to be able to call plays and put folks in the right positions to execute based on their strengths. Phantom says, I'm not saying that changing coaches is a bad move, but getting someone who doesn't whiff on 95% of the draft picks and free agency signings is what's going to really put us where we need to be. Frank might not be the guy we need, but any new head coach has to have time to build his system and get the type of players he needs to run. Oh, facts. Yeah. I guess it really makes you wonder, can Frank Reich be that guy? Can he be that guy? And I don't know. I don't know. And I guess the only reason that I can think of that comes to mind, Vietnam, like, you look at like the years where we went to the Super Bowl, and even before that and even after that, like, I mean, don't get me wrong. We definitely had a running game. Definitely had a running game. We had Greg Olson and stuff like that. But, when it came to wide receivers, we didn't really have any big name wide receivers. Not a single one. I mean, folks might say Ted Ginn, but Ted Ginn, he had more drop catches than everybody else in that receiving core. But I think a big part of it came down to plays were called and executed for those based on where they excelled at. And I guess my big question is, what is really keeping Frank Reich from being able to do that currently, especially if he won a Super Bowl as an offensive coordinator? And then I recently found out that apparently, even though he was offensive coordinator with that Eagles Super Bowl team, Doug Peterson was still calling the majority of the plays. Now, this I did not know until I found out recently. This I did not know. So maybe that kind of changes the dynamic a little bit. Maybe. Right now we have the personnel for ground and pound, but our quarterback is a passer. They need to build around Bryce. Yes, I highly agree. That needs to be a big focus for this offseason, is really hitting aggressively and building around Bryce. Indeed. Yeah, we didn't have any big-time wide receivers, but we had a great O-line that protected when we needed it and a quarterback that could run. Yeah, and that was great complementary pieces to the offense for sure. I think overall the draft picks, some are going to be wins, some are going to be busts. We don't always know which will be which, unfortunately. I wish we could. I wish we could know, but oh yeah, that just cut off. But yeah, we don't know always who will be busts and who will be successful. But I guess that's the risk you take. Those are the risks you take. So it's really, they got a lot of work to do. They got a whole lot of work to do. But we'll see what happens. Like I said, I hope some way, somehow they can win today. It'll be really, really good if they could win today. I would like for them to win today, but we shall see. We shall see. But I would love for them to win today, but yeah. Joe Valesco says, the coach I really want to see is Jim Harbaugh. He turned Alex Smith's career around. Imagine what he can do with Bryce Young. If they can get him, I don't know if they're gonna be able to get him, to be honest with you. I don't know if they're gonna be able to get him. Sorry, I had to stretch a little bit. It's Scott's job to evaluate the talent and choose the player that mostly fits the scheme. And that do the coaches step in. Because, I mean, I would think that the coaches would have a little bit more detailed info on that, and as far as who to kind of relay as the type of talent to go after to a degree. I don't think that they could land Jim, but if he doesn't produce in year one, do they fire him too? To be honest, it wouldn't be a shocker. It would kind of feel like we're playing quarterback carousel, but with coaches, I guess, because that's one thing that we've done a lot of lately: quarterback carousel. You know what I mean? So, uh, but yeah, but I mean, it is true when it comes down to it. I mean, Scott has had 3 years. Scott has had 3 years. So I mean, it's not to say that he hasn't had time. I think just my only thing is, he didn't officially become a general manager until he came here. But I mean, 3 years. It was a quick 3 years. Now that you think about it, well, technically this is which this third year is almost over. Year's almost over. But that and the injury bug hitting as hard as it did definitely. I'm not going to say it nullifies things, but it does affect things. It does affect things tremendously. I don't think it nullifies it, but it affects it tremendously because, I mean, injuries can't be predicted, and when they happen, they suck. But I remember I was listening to 99.9 The Fan, and they were talking about potential players, and I'll probably finish up shortly. But they were talking about potential players that could be back uh, next season, or that should be back next season. Um, and with the offense, they were talking about, Thielen, uh, probably have to make a decision on tight end. I could see Tremble. And the thing is, Ian Thomas, he probably could be cut or whatnot, but at the same time, um, Ian is apparently he's praised highly for his run blocking or just his blocking in general. So, um, they were talking about the idea of drafting a running back, maybe a late round pick running back, because don't really see Miles Sanders being here, for obvious reasons. Um, Chark probably not. LaVisca, probably not. TMJ, probably not. I mean, really, the only person in the wide receiving core I could see still being here is Thielen, to keep it real with you. Um, Phantom says, you know who I would love to be our GM? Louis Reddick of NFL Live on ESPN. He could build our roster correctly. There's definitely a number of GMs out there, I think that really could qualify, and definitely think they'll have a better time with the GM replacement because I think there'll be plenty, or definitely. I'm confident in that. Oh, you listen to them every day. Nice, nice. Burns, Horn, Icky, Mingo, Brown, and Thielen were all they wanted. Yeah, yeah, that makes sense. Um, the thing is, they need to really make up their mind about Horn on taking his fifth year option. They're going to need to really make up their mind about that. Um, Burns, same thing. Uh, I wouldn't mind bringing back Troy Hill. I felt like Troy Hill has done pretty well since he got acquired. I wouldn't mind keeping Troy Hill. I think he could still help. Um, but yeah. They got really a lot to do. And, to your point, Vietnam, because I know you had mentioned about the draft and the picks. I mean, to your point, there's a lot of draft picks that they've made that are no longer here. You know what I mean? I think I want to say a good maybe 80%. I think a good 80% of those picks are no longer with this team. So I mean, honestly, that really, for a lot of folks that really want Scott Fitterer out, that's a really strong arguing point. That's a really strong arguing point when you think about it. When you really think about it, that's a huge, strong arguing point. Fandom says, but in my opinion, the one position that we can draft and it makes the most impact would be at center or offensive guard. I'm at a toss up between O line and cornerback. I'm at a toss up between those two, but um, yeah, I'm at a toss up. But I can definitely see that being important, especially with how badly we've regressed in O line production. Joel says, yeah, I think it's time to move on from Scott. Phantom says, big facts is a huge number that's not here. It really is. It really is. It really is. And these are the mid rounders that if you hit, you set yourself up for success long term. Yeah, yeah. When you really think about it, when you really think about it. So, do you know that our O line is worse than the league? Oh yeah, oh yeah. I don't doubt it. I don't doubt it. Yep, I do not doubt it. I mean, shoot. I know there's a lot of folks arguing whether we're the worst team ever or whether it's the Cardinals, but I definitely think it's us. I definitely think it's us. But